The Daily Mail gone with, Josh?
Big story of the day, which is pretty much in all the papers. Sunak sees off the Tory Rwanda rebels for now. The big vote, if he had lost, it would have been the second time since Thatcher that such a bill had fallen at the second hurdle, but it didn't.
Yeah, no.
It won by not a relatively healthy amount. I think it was 313 to 269, so it wasn't sort of...
So they were like talking, I mean, there was this guy, I think it's coming up later, who was brought back from GOP a little bit. Is GOP or COP? COP 28. COP 28 brought back earlier. GOP is the Republican Party, isn't it, in acronyms. They were like making out like they were going to squeak through. It's obviously like not, you know.
And it didn't, yeah. And no Tories voted against it.
No.
There were lots of abstentions, including Suella Braverman.
She's just bitter, right?
Well, she's just saying it's not harsh enough.
Right.
Is the idea. So you got people who are saying it's too harsh. Yeah. Some people are saying it's not harsh.
What would make it harsher? Cattle prods? What? How? You know, like.
I don't know. It's being sent to a place like Rwanda. Oh no, I don't know.
Yeah, everyone's talking about the five families all day, and not everyone has noticed this is a Godfather reference. Some people have. Yeah. And you've got these five groups. It's the ERG, the New Conservatives, the Common Sense Group, the Northern Research Group, and the Conservative Growth Group. So you see the state of the Tory party, and that's just all the groups on one side, and they're against the One Nation side. So it's a party struggling for its heart gone.
Have you created this five families corny thing? No,
this is national. This has been all day, Sam. Where have you been?
Yeah.
You've been asleep, I know. But and Mark Francois is kind of the leader. He was there on the steps first. He's the veto Corleone, and he said, in fact, that he can't support the bill because of its many omissions. So he's basically done what veto is. That I cannot do. It's basically what he's done. Right. And then Miriam Cates was there, and she had the dignity to look slightly embarrassed about the whole thing and be very concise. But they're all there on the steps. And people are saying it's a little bit absurd, and it is a bit of a palaver over this vote. What's interesting is, could it take down Sunak? Probably not now he's got the 44, but maybe in the long term. And it is quite strange, the things that take down prime ministers. I mean, it was Chris Pincher for Boris Johnson, people forget. But it's kind of strange that this Rwanda bill is so big to me, unless you see it as a metaphor for immigration as a whole and for the heart of the Tory party, which I do see it as.
Well, I mean, to me it seems obvious that the two ways to read it are that it is just theatre, that they have no real expectation that it'll happen.
Well, I don't know. I mean, the question is, will any planes be sent before...
Will it get through the Lords? Does that... I mean...
Well, that's even... There's so many things... And then... But the real reason they got through is because everybody, the different factions, want to put their amendments to it. So that's really where it's going to get to a whole hoorah. Labour are going to play politics, they're saying, and then pull back and not do any vote. So the idea is that it all falls on the Tory party then. Yes. And that's where they get the schisms that are really going to...
And the other point is Sunak has got to this stage by appealing to the five families and telling them, look, it's going to be even harsher, don't worry. But then that's going to alienate the One Nation side, so it may not even get past them. So it is still a bit of a disaster. It's not as much of a disaster as we thought. And by the way, just on the bill itself, I heard an interesting point earlier. Many migrants don't even know about this bill, so it won't work as a deterrent because they just go on Facebook, they have no idea.
Well, the flights to Rwanda will have to, like, fly low over the Channel and low over Calais, presumably with like, big streamers out the back. You know, we're Rwanda bound or whatever.
But the idea that this is, as you say, is the cure or whatever, it is not proven by any means.
As a chap, I think he was on one of our rival radio programmes, but one of the phone-in guests said that in order to work, what it basically needs to be is they pick them up in the Channel and they say to them, if you get in the boat, you're going to Rwanda, or you can go back to France now.
Or have people like on the beach. Yeah. Like, literally just sort of calling out through loudspeakers.
But once they get to the UK, I mean, if they think they're going to get to the UK, having come this far, I don't think it's going to work unless there's an extraordinary amount of money put into it, knowing how hard it is to publicise a show in Edinburgh. I mean, you know, do you know what I mean? The amount of PR. Anyway...